Hello everyone and welcome back to AMTV News. I am your anchor, Topher Morrison. It's Wednesday, June 5th, 2013. Benghazi ultra-truthers. They were right? AMTV has covered the events of Benghazi extensively, both myself and Christopher Green. But theories over what may have happened keep on getting crazier. It now seems probable, given extensive investigation, that heavy weapons, including anti-aircraft SA-7s, also known as man-pads, were shipped from post-Gaddafi Libya to Turkey, and from there onto the Syrian rebels fighting against Bashar al-Assad of Syria. To what extent the CIA was involved or knew about these operations is the essential question. The open violation of treaties between the United States and Russia are impeachable and could be the perfect motive for a full-fledged cover-up. That's one school of thought. The other, known as the Benghazi ultra-truthers, dubbed so by Elspeth Reeve of the Atlantic Wire last month, includes a conspiracy far more outlandish involving an October surprise, hearkening back to the Iranian hostage crises before and during the Reagan administration, which led to what the Washington Post called one of the most bizarre covert negotiations in recent history, of which produced Iran-Contra. Now here's a little background on today's Iran-Contra.
Fox News Alert now as we look at a controversial report suggesting that the United States of America has been approached about possibly releasing or transferring a key conspirator in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, said to be the mastermind of it. A man whose incarceration may have inspired the storming of the U.S. Embassy in Cairo just last week on September 11th. Omar Abdel Rahman, also known as the Blind Sheikh, was the spiritual advisor behind the World Trade Center attack, and his possible release, I should say, has been called for by none other than Egypt's new president, Mohamed Morsi, when he was inaugurated. I mean, this is a big cause for many in Egypt, including their leader. Yesterday, a group of Republicans sent a letter asking whether or not this administration is considering a possible deal for the release or transfer of the sheikh, even as the State Department spokeswoman, Victoria Nuland, insisted that there, quote, is no plan for Rahman to be set free. So what are the stakes here?
Today, it is suggested that Barack Obama may have covertly staged Benghazi with the Muslim Brotherhood and its titular head, Mohamed Morsi, for the Blind Sheikh. It has been alleged by retired four-star Admiral Ace Lyons to Lou Dobbs and the Washington Examiner that Benghazi may have been a botched prisoner exchange plot designed to propel Obama into a second term. This, of course, before Hurricane Sandy delivered Barack Obama from the political doldrums.
I speculate that Ambassador Stevens was supposed to be kidnapped, held hostage in exchange for the release of the Blind Sheikh that we're currently holding in prison. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Now, we know that al-Qaeda-affiliated groups were not only hired by the U.S. government to guard the consulate, but ran the hospital Ambassador Christopher Stevens was submitted to after the attack on 9/11. In this scenario, the terrorists, likewise, were hired to kidnap and hold Ambassador Stevens until the release of the Blind Sheikh could be negotiated by the administration. That is, until former U.S. Navy SEALs Glenn Doherty and Tyrone Woods refused the infamous stand-down order and dispatched themselves from a nearby CIA annex in the attempt to rescue their countrymen, sacrificing their lives in the process. So what's the news? Well, today, Bill Gertz of the Washington Free Beacon reports that al-Qaeda's weapons expert, Abdullah Du al-Bajadin, claimed in an online post that Ambassador Christopher Stevens was killed by lethal injection, adding more weight to the theory proffered by Admiral Lyons in November of 2012. Now, this does not mean that Benghazi gun-running scandal and the prisoner exchange are mutually exclusive. Mohamed Morsi has denounced and seeks the removal of Bashar al-Assad of Syria. Therefore, both the exchange and the weapons transfers fulfill Morsi's designs in the Middle East. And as we know, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, regardless of Egypt's trend towards fundamentalist authoritarian rule, have no qualms providing millions in taxpayers' monies to the influential yet dubious Egyptian state. It goes to show they might not have any reservations conspiring with them either. An autopsy of Ambassador Christopher Stevens, and finally sitting former CIA Director General David Petraeus in front of a congressional hearing might yield some long-awaited answers. Capturing every corner of this alternative media, watch AMTV News Monday through Friday. Follow me on Twitter at AMTV News and like us on Facebook at Greenwave TV. Find my source material and more videos like these at AMTV Media and greenwave.com. Both are part of the AMTV network. This is AMTV News, the voice of independence.